guys, alright, to start off with the linear rail conversion, I think the first thing I'm going to do is split this angle bracket in half and go ahead and machine these surfaces while I still have the vise mounted to the mill. These will be for our y-axis rail supports. This is the portion that hangs over the front of the, sticks out the front of the machine. So this is just a 4x4x4 angle block. This is a precision ground. It wasn't very expensive. I don't remember. I'm thinking less than 20 bucks. I picked it up off eBay. All I need to do is just split it in half, machine down that surface, and then bore 4 holes. So let me go ahead and get this paper and all cleaned off of here, get it marked, cut, and machined. Alright, well, it's raining, just started raining pretty good. It's storming, so probably going to be done for the day, but you can see we got our 2 blocks split in half. And now I just need to come back and machine these down. I'm going to make the width 48 millimeters. That should be good enough, and then we'll bore some holes on each side. So we can mount it. Okay, so here I am over at the mill. I've got my 2 pieces of angle block, and so now I just want to machine off this rough edge where we bandsawed it. Now, the idea is to place the angle bracket on the factory edge here, down on the vise, and then just machine this off to the correct thickness. So the first thing I did was I set my Z height to the top of my vise, and I used that as my model point in Fusion 360. And so we're just going to come up 48 millimeters and machine this surface off. If I clamp this up like so, then it's going to want to make the vise kind of bow and twist, so we don't want to do that. So even though I'm only going to be machining this one, what I'm going to do is clamp both of them together. I want to make sure all the everything's off this, and I'll clamp them like so. Like so. And then now it clamps it up secure, and even though I'm just going to machine this one piece, I'll just turn it to do the other one. All I'm doing is cleaning up this surface here. Alright, now I made these 48 millimeters. I didn't have to go that thin. I could have made them probably 50, but I wasn't sure when I drew it up how much I was going to have to clean off, so, but I think it'll be okay like this. So now I'll just swap it and we'll do this block. Alright, well, after I've got the edges cleaned off, I went to mount it into the vise and realized there's not really any easy way to hold this. So I decided to just go ahead and lay it out, and I'll just drill these 4 holes manually. They're not really critical, the placement. I'll just do it with a drill press. I came 1 1/4 inches and 3 1/4 from the machined right angle here, and 5/16 from the edge. This is 48 millimeters wide, and I'm going to be just using a 13/64 drill bit, which is about 5.14 millimeters. We're going to be using 5 millimeter 5 by 25. That'll give us about a 1/2 inch 7/16 protruding there to bolt these through, so it'll just be 4 holes. So let's take them to the drill press and we'll bore our 4 holes. I've already punched the center, so should. Alright, I'm having to improvise here a little bit. I can't use the table on the benchtop drill press, so I've got one sitting on top of the other, and I will just hold it on there and bore these holes. Should be pretty easy. This is cast, so here we go. one hole. That should be giving me plenty of thread there. I might make this a little bit bigger just so I have a little bit of adjustment, but that's pretty good right there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drill the other 7 holes. Alright, well, we've got our holes drilled. That only took about 5 minutes or so with the drill press. I went ahead and just hit each hole with the chamfer so that it would be smooth, wouldn't have any burrs there, and now they'll just mount to the machine like so. So now we just need to take them out to the machine, bore and tap some holes. I'm out here trying to decipher how I want to mount this. I need to try to hold it at a right angle to the dovetail. So I decided, well, it appears that the X table, this edge here, is machined, so it's heavy enough that I can clamp to it, and also it should be straight enough that I can get this at the right height. I believe this surface here is machined, so at least it appears to be. So hopefully this is the right angle to this, and if so, I shouldn't have any problems. But if I have to shim it a little bit, if it has to be shimmed, you know, like this, I can shim it. But this way I can hold it up against and make sure I got the right height there, like so. Now this surface here is machined, and this seems to be the same height as this, so this must have all been machined at the same time. And on this machine you can tell this right here is higher, this is higher than this, so it was all machined off. And going down through there, it appears to be all the same height. I don't see any gap or anything. So it seems to be real nice and tied up against there. So all I'm going to do is just mark these locations here, drill and tap these holes. As you can see, the 4-inch block is up off of the table here about at least 50-60 thousandths maybe. Looks like that's nice and tight and square, and it should be nice and even. So it seemed like this was the best method to do this. Of course, I'll have to indicate it and check it after I get it bored and mounted, but I kind of expected to have to shim it at some point. So let me get these marked and we'll get them drilled and tapped. Got a bit of bore 6 more holes and we can mount them up. The drill bit I used for this was a 4.2 millimeter, and this is an M5 by 0.8 tap. I've got the clutch set on 5 on my drill so I don't break the tap off. This casting is actually thick right here. It's about 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 inch on these 3 holes, but this one it's thick, so you have to be careful. That one's going to bottom out. This cast iron tap's pretty easy. Alright, so I just need to clean those holes out, and we can do a test fit on these angle brackets. Alright, now that we have our holes drilled and tapped, I've clamped it back up with the C-clamp into position, and I'm just going to put the bolts in there, and I'm not really going to tighten them too tight. I just want to get them in there, get it fitted. Just to kind of see how it is. That hole needs to be cleaned out a little bit better, I think. These 4 M5s should hold this good enough. Alright, so just got them snug, and we can take our C-clamp off here. And we can let me move that out of the way. Okay, you can see we've got it. Kind of see how it's going to bolt on there. That should be plenty sturdy enough, and hopefully if we need to do any kind of shimming, I'll check that after I get this one mounted. I'll get the indicator and we'll just check it and see if we're going to need any kind of shimming, but hopefully we won't. That looks pretty good right there. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. I don't see any kind of daylight right there, so it looks pretty good. Maybe it needs to come up just a little bit. Looks like it might be touching here, but not right there. So I might need to shim it a little bit. But I'll check it and see. And let me get this one mounted. Alright, I've got this side mounted. It looks really good. I may need to do a little shimming. I'll have to get the dial indicator and we'll check that. The datum's going to mount like that. Remember, I've got to trim this datum a little bit, about to 1.25 inches 1/8, and then the rail is going to sit right on there. So the rail is going to go on like so. I'll take this out of the way. And about like that. And then that should give enough support there. I'll have 2 holes bolted in there, or 3, maybe 2. Yeah, probably more like 2 there. So I'll have those two holes fastened there. That should be good. I just need to make sure that it's on the same plane as that. Now, like I said, I might have to shim that. Alright, so I've got the indicator out, and I'm just checking just to see how close it's going to be and how difficult it's going to be to get this kind of lined up. I got some different shim material here, some aluminum cans, which is about 4.5 thousandths, and then I've got some tin foil, which is about 1 thousandths, and then the heavy duty tin foil is a little bit more. It's about 1.5 thousandths. So that's what I'm using for shim material. You just can grab whatever you can find. Any kind of foil will work. So I ended up having to put a piece of the 1.5 thousandths heavy duty tin foil up top. I just put a little strip across like so, and I just laid it in there and tightened up the top 2 screws. And this is what I've got. So it's real sensitive, so bear in mind, you just barely touch it and you can see the needle moving there. However, you can see we're right around 0, maybe, and about 1/10 right there, and then get over that little hump there. And we get to about 1, 2/10, 3/10 out on the edge there. We're only going to go out to about right there. Looks like we're about, I don't know, 4 or 5/10. Really close right there. Not going to tighten anything down, secure. I've got it all tight now, but I'm not going to do any final fastening until I get back with assembly. So you can see we're really close there. We're within a couple of tenths of where we need to be. I think that's going to be real nice. I'll verify the other side. It feels pretty good there, so I'm sure it's going to be pretty close as well. So that's good for now. I guess that'll wrap up this video. In the next video we will work on probably boring all the holes in the datums. I want to do that first before I machine these datums down to 1 1/8 inches. And then they'll go just like so. After I machine it 1 1/8 inches, it'll just kind of bolt down. So we'll do that in the next video. We'll start working on boring the holes in the datums. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions or questions, please feel free to comment. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thumbs up if you like the video, and most importantly, be safe.